You make the jokes every time I say the anything, even before I've hit the record button. Please, save the gold for the show. Hi, everybody. Trooth was just remarking at how it's very refreshing when I drink water, because he tastes it too, but he just couldn't wait to say his golden, amazing humor for when I hit the record button. So you guys only get little bits and pieces. I have to explain the joke, which ruins the joke, and let me just tell you, what a quality joke it was in the first place. It's a shame it had to get ruined by Trooth.
I might have to explain it.
You know what? Go ahead and explain the joke. This is what everyone came to the Dwarf Fortress tutorial Sonic Underground podcast for. Please explain the joke in detail.
You say that feel when you drink water when somebody drinks water, because drinking water is so relatable.
Yes.
You know, because it's something that everybody enjoys.
Yes, except for weirdos who don't like water.
You ever just drink water?
Yeah, like a lot.
I mean, the weirdos who don't like water are still drinking things that have water in them. They just don't like to admit it.
Exactly. Everybody loves water deep down. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our Dwarf Fortress Let's Play. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the notes that I have written down here, everybody. You know what? There's so much to tackle right now. First of all, there's like steel bolts all over the ground here? They must have been shooting at something. Two, there's a bunch of, what are these again? These are capybaras, just in the water, next to a bunch of well-organized logs. There's a lot of strange things going on that I didn't really notice before. A lot of animals. Oh, right, that's where we actually keep our animals. So, the things we want to go over in this play session, if possible, I have written down metal crafting, which we just started with a little, but we're kind of waiting on a caravan. Medical stuff, which we have about 1,000 splints. That's about it.
Made of zinc.
Yeah, zinc splints, which is a weird situation we found ourselves in. Military, of which I think we might be a little prepared to do something there.
Sure.
Melson Nandela, still not sure about that. Magma Forge, which you gave us a little details on. I think you said we're ready to start doing that.
You can do that pretty quick.
And a comment, Top Hat Games said for you to tell me about priorities.
Yeah, I think I know what that's about, and it's something that I always kind of forget exists. But that would be pretty quick to go over also, whenever you need to mine something.
We have another comment with a whole bunch of info that they want to dump on us. But we're already 3 minutes in. Let's learn something. Teach me about priorities.
Okay, so I believe we were working on digging out some area down near where the magma is.
It'd be
good to go down there. If you go down that way, we can demonstrate priorities.
Oh, yeah. What was his Blood at Crundle's End? Yeah, Nancy Drew.
That was my favorite Nancy Drew mystery.
Me too.
Do you have a hotkey for this one?
I don't think I do yet. Yeah, because we were like digging a lot. Okay, hold on. So the lowest we found straight up magma that we can like literally just see semi-molten rock. So I'm guessing this general vicinity above it, up here-ish, might be lava. So do we... Well, they aren't digging here because they feel so much heat on the other side of the wall. Where's the highest that they do dig above it? Here.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it. So the way the kind of magma detection works, they can also be detecting magma that is one floor above or below them. So it's not necessarily on those floors, but that low down it probably is.
Okay, well, I'll dig out a little there just so we get started on it, I guess.
Okay, so go back in the designation menu, and I can show you priorities.
Okay, for a second I thought I missed the actual wall itself. Right, so I'm in designation.
Yeah, so down in the bottom right, it says set priority with plus or minus. That's on the numpad.
Oh, 1 through 7, yeah.
Yep, so if something is set to priority 1, they'll do that before something that's at a lower number.
I got you. Is that why these are a bunch of 4s? Is priority 4?
Yeah, so that's like the average priority for any order. But say
So,
you wanted them to dig out the left side first, you could set the priority to 1, and then they would do that first.
so I would do. Mm, Oh, okay. I see how they're highlighting very, very dimly over there. So if I did that,
Right. Yep.
then their top priority for digging is that. Okay, so is that with every
Yeah.
designation? I just use plus and minus on the numpad to pick what number I want?
Yep, I think you can do that with any designated order. It's just really useful for mining.
Yeah, that is really useful for mining, because, you're always going to have a lot of mining orders, but some are obviously going to be more important than others. And
Yeah.
see that? Like, right off the bat, they went straight to it. All
Mhm.
right, that's one thing checked off the list. That was really easy and useful.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I will. Oh, no reason to pause that, I guess. Let me just check that off the list. There we go. Okay, priorities
Awesome.
has been checked off our learning list.
Yeah, and honestly, we've probably got metal crafting done. Like, I've told you just about all there is to know about metal crafting, except for
Yeah,
using a magma forge.
it doesn't actually seem that complicated.
Yeah, like you know how to smelt, you know how to make charcoal, you know how to make things out of metal bars.
Yeah, okay, I can check that off. Metal crafting checked off. Okay.
Hmm.
So before we jump into medical stuff, military, Melson Nandela, and Magma Forge is literally just me building a building in this room, right?
There's a little bit more to it,
Is
but
it building
mostly.
workshop? Is Magma Forge in here?
Well, you won't be able to do it yet because
Oh.
you need a space where the magma is kind of exposed.
Oh, so I need to
So,
dig down in this room.
right. So what you'll need is a channel, which is in designations.
Okay. Now designations channel.
Yep, that
Oh,
is
H.
H. Mhm.
Okay, so is this a
Now,
part of the floor that I'm doing this on?
it can be either the floor or a section of wall, either way.
Okay, okay.
'Cause
I'm just
what
gonna let
that's
them
gonna
dig it out
do,
while you explain.
yeah, what it's gonna do when you set a channel is it's going to dig out both the space on this floor and it's gonna dig out an open space to one floor below.
Okay. So should I just do it in the middle of the room or something?
I would say you can do it in the middle of the room, or you can just do it off to one corner, wherever you want the workshop to be.
Okay, and is the workshop gonna be a 3x3 grid like the other ones?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to do designate. I want to do H for channel. And does that mean that I want to do a 3x3 on the ground?
No, you only need one tile. You just need one space that's exposed to
Okay,
magma.
okay.
So just
Well,
do a single
let's
square.
let's just try right there and see how it goes.
Yep. And you might
Okay.
not strike magma at this point. It might still be one
Yeah.
or two elevations lower.
Yeah, we might need to hunt around a little, but yeah, I'm sure it won't be too hard to figure out exactly where we
Yeah.
want this to be. A little bit of
Mhm.
trial and error. Okay,
Yeah.
so, while he's doing that, we have a big comment from the previous episode with lots of things that they suggest that you teach me about.
Okay.
And, okay, so number one, this is from Patrick Murphy, by the way.
All right.
Number one, check that your stockpiles are big enough to hold everything that you're making. In parentheses,
Mm.
also that you have a stockpile for each category. The
Mm.
workshops will run very slow if they're full of finished goods. Does that mean
Mm.
that finished goods are actually, also I don't see any magma in there. Does that mean that finished goods actually get stored in the workbench they were made at until they've been relocated?
That's right. They just kind of pile up in the workshop itself. And
Interesting.
it has been kind of a recurring issue, really, that the stockpiles that you have in this fort are pretty small for most things.
They are. I'm new to the game, so I don't have the best feel yet of, like, how big should these be? How much am I going
Yeah.
to have of each resource,
Yeah.
Um,
So that would be a good thing to do at any point is just like re-examine your stockpiles and see which ones are full.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's do that early. So stockpiles are mostly in here, okay.
Hmm.
So how do we check what is full?
Mostly, you can just like hit Q and hover over each stockpile, but you can tell like
Okay.
visibly See, that's your furniture
Yeah,
stockpile,
that looks
and you can
full.
tell just every tile is taken up, so you need a much bigger
Yeah.
furniture stockpile.
Yeah, like literally
Finished
nothing's
goods is
flashing because it's all covered.
yeah, the finished goods one right below it still has plenty of space.
Okay.
Um,
So how do I make this bigger? Do I just go back into designation?
that would be under
Oh
P
no,
for
it's
stockpiles,
P
actually.
P for stockpiles. How could I forget that?
P for pile.
U for
Um,
furniture.
yeah, so
Do I
um,
literally just draw over it?
you can do that. I think first you would need to remove the existing stockpile and then just replace it with a bigger one.
Are you
Or you can
fucking
just
kidding
make
me?
I don't know. I'm not sure how overlapping stockpile space works.
I'm
Like if
gonna
there's a
just
way,
try and see what happens. What happens if I just do that?
yeah,
And then I
see,
hit, what was it, Q to inspect it?
yeah.
It it
So,
looks like it has created a separate furniture stockpile next to it.
yeah.
Because this is
That's what I
20 and
thought
this
would
is
happen.
26. Okay.
Yeah.
What else is full? That's not full, that's not full. We really need to haul these rocks out of the other stockpiles. Is
Yeah.
this the
So
rock
there,
one? That's a stone stockpile and it's
yeah.
incredibly full, because of course it is.
Yeah. Those fill up really easily.
There's no way that we can just, like... You know how we can apparently stack infinite bodies on one tile? We can't do that with stone, right?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm just
One
gonna...
thing, yeah,
we
that's good.
seriously, we need to clear this place out a bit, and I'm sure that'll fill up quick too. But you can see the
Yeah.
26 or whatever idlers are very quickly getting to work.
Yep. Quickly down to 0.
Yeah,
But
there's
yeah,
a lot of hauling to be done.
yeah. Look, they've pretty much filled up the furniture stockpile already.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish
So
they'd
you might,
prioritize getting the rocks out of that stockpile first. That'd be nice.
yeah, you might want to just, yeah, you'll probably need to carve out some more space and just make a much bigger furniture stockpile.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead. There's no such thing as a support pillar, right? Like, I can just make a giant room if I want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to go mining. This can be like 3, sure. It's more important than the random digging orders we have downstairs, but not as important as the magma thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's not prudent to have it dig all the way out that way, just because
mean,
it's farther from the stairs.
That's a good point. I mean, you could build it off to the right,
I could.
and
But then
then,
again, weren't mistakes made to be made? No, that almost made sense. It's all right. Let's just keep learning.
I get what you're saying. I know what
Okay,
you're trying to say, and
you know what I
it's
was going
fine.
for. It just failed on every
Yeah.
level.
It's
Okay,
not the end. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. If
it could actually be the end of the world. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. How do I go up and down floors again? It was that. Okay. Sorry. Shift and then triangle brackets, or the like period.
Yeah.
All right, they haven't gotten around to that yet. That's fine. So the second thing from Patrick Murphy here, he's got 14 things, so I guess I'll just sprinkle them in. Avoid using wood when you can. Avoid making stuff out of wood when you can make it out of stone. You know,
Sure.
instead of bins, make coffers, for instance, because wood is harder to come by, whereas stone is borderline infinite.
Yeah, the thing I will say about that one is that bins have a higher capacity than like a stone pot or copper. So
Okay.
sometimes bins are better, but you can make like pots out of rock that serve the same function.
Okay.
It's just a matter of how much real estate you want to dedicate to your stockpiles.
Now, tip number 3 from him, this one was really interesting to me because I had no idea, because, you know, dwarves in this lore are different than dwarves in other lore. Dwarves that spend too much time underground will get sick if they go into sunlight. Your barracks should be above ground so that your military don't all pass out when they have to go outside to fight invaders.
Yeah, that is a fair idea. That does happen because, yeah, once they spend like several years underground, they literally will start to vomit when they go out into the sun.
Okay, well, do you think that an outdoor barracks is something we should be throwing together now as part of our military stuff? Or
I would
is that low
say
priority?
I think it's not a top priority. Like, it would be
Okay.
more prudent to just get the military functioning first.
Yeah. Okay. Let's, I just want to... am I going the wrong way? No. I just... Where
You,
the...
you gotta set a hotkey for down here.
I know, right?
Doing a lot of scrolling.
Okay, I'll do a hotkey for this room because yeah, I keep having to go back to it, and then we'll probably replace this hotkey later.
Yeah,
nah,
you can always change them.
I'm looking for where I do that again in that pile of things. Oh, capital H, and then I
Yes.
want to hit F8, and then I want Z for zoom here, and then I escape out of that. There we go. That's actually pretty easy.
Perfect.
Okay, let's what do we want to do for our next step on trying to find this actual magma?
Let's see. Go to one of those layers where you have the red stones showing. I say.
Okay.
Also, you can probably cancel those 3 little channel designations because I'm pretty sure they're not going to do anything.
Okay, so the highest up semi molten rock we can see is on this floor.
Yeah, so I would go 1 floor up and then try to dig down into that space, and that'll probably get you to magma. See right there, it's showing
so I
warm
want to
stone.
do a channel here, right?
I would just dig to the right, just regular mining for a few spaces, just to make sure you're above the lava.
Let's, I will put it priority 1, and we'll throw down something like that and just see what we see.
Yeah, and they'll probably stop digging as soon as they do that, because they're going to encounter warm stones again.
And while we wait for them to travel over there, let's see what number 4 is. Graves for your dead. You need to build those coffins somewhere so the dead monster hunters can be buried. If you don't put them to rest, they can come back as ghosts and haunt your fort.
Yes.
Living dwarves do not appreciate seeing ghosts. Making a corpse stockpile will give you a temporary place to put your deceased, so you can get an idea of if you need more coffins. Okay.
True, I guess.
Is that something we should be doing right now? Like, should I just real quick throw an order to, like, make 20 coffins?
We might have made coffins in the past, actually. I think we already have some. So the more important thing would be to just carve out a room somewhere that we can place a bunch of those coffins.
So is there any kind of metagame for, like, a tomb? For just a mass tomb, how it should look? Is there anything, like, do they prefer it to be a certain way?
For your regular-ass dwarf, it's not gonna matter. The only time that, like, the tomb's look is going to matter is if a noble wants a tomb built for them.
Okay.
So, for the regular dwarves, you can just build a long hallway that's just lined with coffins.
Also, the population's getting a little high. Are we running out of beds, maybe?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. You have a population of like 80-something, and there's probably just like a couple dozen beds here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this as priority 2 then. I'm gonna start carving some stuff out, you know? Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I guess that could be an inside, so 1, 2, 3, and then dig out here. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to keep it roughly symmetrical enough that it won't drive everybody insane. There we go, something like that, and then we'll go from there. It's
always gonna drive somebody insane for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so if we go down to here and then... Oh, it's saving Windows upon us. Okay, well, while it does that, I guess I'll read another thing. Engraving your common areas will make dwarves happier. Also, your dining hall needs more chairs and tables.
Yeah, that's true for sure. We've really not been, like, maintaining, like, the capacity for your growing population.
Yeah, so engraving your common areas will make dwarves happier. What does that mean?
So they can smooth the cavern walls out, and then after they're smoothed, they can actually carve, like, artistic engravings into them.
Okay, so they're prettying it up so it doesn't look like a rough cave system.
Yeah, so the dwarves will be happier if they're in, like, a dining room where there's a lot of art carved into the wall.
Okay, that makes sense. Can we smooth out the floors?
Yes, you can smooth floors. You can also engrave floors as well. I usually don't do it just because it changes the floors into random sprites.
Ah.
I mean, there's an option to turn off pictorial engravings like that, so it just looks like stone still. But I mean, I like seeing the engraved walls.
Yeah,